that the team here in Vigo have a little problem with the economic issue. Do you think it's going to be solved in some ideas or?
No idea. I think there's a lot of problems in a lot of places with the money at the moment and the finances. So there's going to be a lot of restructuring that needs to be done. And I'm not sure how we're going to fit into the situation. But we gave some guys that were working really hard on it. And I think part of that, putting it out in the papers and all that, it's all part of trying to drum up some money. But they do a really good job. It's like they're getting blood out of the stone. It's incredible how they were just scraping through. You know, we're not great, but we're getting there. So I've got some faith in these guys, and I think that with the rugby, I think you can see in the background here, we're actually getting some people to the game, which is in this picture on the right hand side. There's a little bit of a crowd there, which is good. When I first came here, maybe 5 or 6, or Miguel and a couple of others. There wasn't so many people coming to the rugby, you know. So now it's becoming a lot more popular. So I think there's a place for rugby in Spain and here, you know. And so I'm hoping that we don't get a lot of support from the council or you know, not at all really.
It's a pity because at the end we have a team in the first level, and it's a pity that it's going to lose that opportunity because of the money.
Yeah, that's right. And for me also, it's important for the youth. For me, I know how much rugby's done for me as a person. You know, and like we were talking about before, the values, with the discipline and commitment. And I think that there's the guys that aren't good at soccer or whatever. There's another place that they can play the sport. You know, and it's not about being like the greatest player in the world, but it's learning to play as a team, and it's good for the body, and it's healthy, and a lot of these guys, and they really learn about themselves and each other. And so I think it's a great sport for that, just the nature of it, because you have to work together, you know, and physically it's demanding. You have to get yourself strong. And so I think for the children as well, it's important to take the opportunity.
Do the fans pay to watch you?
Do they pay to watch us?
Yeah.
Not really yet. I don't think so.
It's free.
It has been free, but I think that they're paying like €5 or something now. Is that right? So €5 at the moment, yeah. So it's not really. I think it's just because we're really struggling. I think they just put that as for the last 2 games. Is that right?
Yeah, last 3 games.
Only for the last 3 games. But it's up to us to create something that people want to watch as well. You know, so it goes both ways. To be entertaining and something really, you know, we don't expect to get money for nothing. We want to give the crowd something. And so I think we're getting there now, but rugby in Spain, it's got a long way to go to be really, I don't know, to be really something that is really entertaining to watch. You know, at the moment it's a little bit scrappy, but we're getting there.
Do you think that Spanish referees are really bad? Because I heard that you were worried about the referees some matches before.
Yeah, yes. Don't get me onto the subject, mate. Got some tissues? Yeah, it's one thing that needs to be worked with. It's one thing, I suppose, complaining about someone, but there needs to be some action done. It's very difficult I watched the game on Saturday, and the referee was just really spoiling the game and confusing the players as well. And so there needs to be some accountability. There needs to be some training. There needs to be a lot of support for the referees here. I'm not a big fan of referees in New Zealand. I thought they were terrible. And when I came here, another level of terrible I didn't know existed. But I think part of it is there. This is my perspective on it. Is there the type of personality, I don't know, they seem to be getting attracted to to being a referee, is that I think that they're looking for a sense of themselves from the game. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that. But they're looking to get a feeling of themselves through the game, you know, and so in that way they're taking from it. And so what I mean by that is that if they're feeling not so good in their life, not feeling, no one's listening to them, they don't feel like they have a lot of power, they're going to do that on the field. They're going to use it on the field to feel powerful. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so they're not really giving to the game, you know, they're not letting it flow, they're trying to take from it. You know, and so this needs to be addressed, you know, because they have the power, they don't need to get it from the game, they don't need to take it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so this is a big issue for me. They need some training in terms of support, because rugby's not an easy game to referee either, and I can understand that. But they need some support of what to do when they get anxious, and what to do when, you know, and they need to really do a lot of work, because they shouldn't be seen in the game, from my perspective. They're just part to let because rugby is meant to flow. Rugby is meant to have continuity. And so we have rules based around getting the game flowing, and that's something what's beautiful about the game, you know. And I think that, and so these guys are stopping the game, trying to enforce rules that are getting the game to flow. You understand what I mean? Yeah, does it make sense? And so for example, when you have that pile up, it's designed. The rules are designed so the ball comes out cleanly. There's a bit of a competition, and so we can play. And these guys are. You're doing this, the ball's there ready to go, but they're stopping. And also, some of their rulings are just like, on the weekend I saw someone do something really good, really good, and they got penalised for it. You know, and so it's like, it's like for me it hurts me. It hurts me. You know, it physically hurts me to see it. You know, it's a shame for me to see it. You know, when it could be for a referee just to get the game flowing and to get it going and for it to be a beautiful spectacle. That's what I expect from a referee, not for him to be the centre stage and I've got a couple of cards for you here and I've got what's this one? Come here. You know? Yeah, it's not about them. You know? It's about the players. Well, that's my opinion. I hope there's not too many referees. But there's some good referees too, you know? But they just need some support. That's the bottom line, you know? There's one thing complaining about them, but there's another thing doing something about it. So I think the Spanish Union need to really put some good work into that. Because if the players are getting better, they're bringing good coaches over here, they're bringing better players here, the players are improving, but the referees are staying the same.
Any other questions?
What do you think about how mass media support rugby here in Spain?
Once again? Sorry?
What do you think about mass media?
Mass media?
Mass media, or the newspapers, TV news, how they support rugby here in Spain? What's your point of view?
Yeah, well, I don't really read a lot of Spanish. I don't. My Spanish is not great, so I don't really do a lot of reading. But I think that the media in Vigo are very supportive, very supportive. You know, we have a couple of nice writers, a couple of talented writers. I think that really write really well. Nationwide, I'm not sure. I think rugby doesn't register on the blimp. I think you got a big magazine there, and most of it's soccer, right? Maybe 90% soccer, and maybe a bit of basketball. But like I said before, rugby they need to increase the standard to make it something beautiful, something that people want to watch before, you know. And so you need to create something that's nice before and the crowd will come and the media will come after that. I can't expect I don't know. You see some of the rugby is not so good, and so it stays where it should be. But we improve.